ended bringing out a new and expected winner, a dramatic victory to the Red Bull driver Sergio Perez, who became the first Mexican driver to win this race ever and the third race the driver won since he started his career in the Formula 1. The competition was a bit particular with many changed conditions. Marked with a collision between Lewis Hamilton and Esteban Ocon in lap 19, this incident caused the French driver a penalty that he couldn't accept. What happened exactly? Is it really an unjust penalty for Alpine's driver? What does the FIA rules say about it? Keep on watching, guys. We'll be analyzing the situation for you and answering all these questions. Guys, we're happy to announce that our Formula Zone family is amazingly growing up. As Formula 1 fans, we would be happy to offer you a beautiful poster of your favorite Formula 1 driver. Conditions are too easy. Subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment telling us from which country you follow our videos. Share this with your Formula 1 fans around you. Good luck for all of you. Rain started falling just 10 minutes before the official time of the race to start. Immediate rivers and large puddles start forming on the track, which was judged later on to be wet for a race to start. As a result, the race was delayed from the start time in Monaco, set at 3 p.m. for 15 minutes. Then it lasted for about 45 minutes. Then it was possible to start the Grand Prix until an hour later. Besides, only 64 laps have been completed out of 78 scheduled, and that was because of the time limit of 2 hours. Towards the end, we witnessed a four-way fight stagey finish with less than 3 seconds between each car, with Perez on top, Sainz just after him in the second place, Max third, and Leclerc at the fourth position. Behind the leaders, the Mercedes driver George Russell finished P5 with an impressive performance, even that he dropped the final laps under huge pressure from the McLaren's driver Lando Norris, who finished P6 just after him, while his teammate Lewis Hamilton only managed P8, which was so disappointing looking to the great show he gave in Barcelona last weekend. The British driver fans were waiting for a comeback of their champion, especially that he could fight for the title again. Ocon, Alpine's driver, finished P9 and received a 5-second time penalty due to his earlier collision with Hamilton, meant that he finished P12 out of points. Hamilton found himself early in the race stuck behind Fernando Alonso, then behind the other Alpine driver Ocon. A raging fight happened between two drivers, Ocon and Hamilton, for 8th position. However, on fresher tires, lap 18 at Saint Devote, Lewis tried to pass on the main straight, resulted in a coming together. Ocon moved across to defend, which led to a touch between his right rear and Hamilton's front wing. Hamilton said over the radio, "Ocon turned on in me," and that caused Hamilton a front wing damage. Hamilton called for Ocon to be investigated because of his defensive moves. The steward took action after. They investigated the clash, and as a result, Ocon had a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. This decision dropped the French driver from 9th position at the end of the race to 12th in the final classification, which is non-points finish. Ocon considered this penalty decision as unfair and said his post-radio, "This is favoritism. They can't take the result away like that. This is favoritism. Crash into me or get the penalty. What is this? We can't see in the mirrors here." During a media interview after the race, Ocon revealed what was said in his conversation with the steward. They said that if it was last year, it would have been a racing incident. This year, it is not a racing incident. Apparently, we all agreed as GPDA, Grand Prix Drivers Association, that as soon as there is front wing next to a tire, there should be space, but I don't remember when this has been agreed. The French driver felt extremely bad after the penalty, that he believes it ruined completely his race, and considers his collision with Lewis Hamilton as a racing incident. I'm very frustrated because the opinion of everyone obviously is another one compared to what we got. Looking at the images and going to see the steward as well, they said that if it was last year, it would have been a racing incident. This year, it is not a racing incident. At the beginning of the season, the FIA published a set of guidelines for drivers about overtaking and who has the right to corners after a number of controversial incidents last year. The steward qualifies as a significant portion the front tires of the overtaking car, whether they were ahead of the rear wheels or the other car by no later than the apex of the corner. The steward's ruling confirmed there was a significant portion of Hamilton's car alongside Ocon, but the Frenchman answered he was just covering the inside. He added, commenting on this, "We tried hard, we raced hard. Obviously, there was a bit of contact, but that should be a racing incident. It is a bit frustrating." Just after the race, Hamilton commented on the lap 19 incident saying, "I mean, he put me in the wall. So I'm just grateful I finished. I'm so surprised that my car stayed together, so I'm grateful for that. I don't know what was possible. it certainly didn't help being stuck behind Alpine, though it's been a tough weekend and I've had some unlucky situations like the red flag in qualifying, so I'm looking forward now to turning the page and heading to Baku. Monaco wasn't lately the Mercedes great track to win on. In fact, Hamilton finished the race in P8, about 40 seconds behind his teammate George Russell at the checkered flag. Asked about this result and if there was something he could do to come out with a better score, he stated, "Well, I knew that could be the case once Alonso qualified ahead of me, but there was nothing I can really do. I was hoping for some sort of opportunity with the rain, but it didn't turn into an opportunity. Then I tried to get by, then I got stuck behind his teammate. So yeah, one of those days." Hamilton said he looks forward to the Baku Street, even that he thinks the circuit has a lot of similarities with Monaco, but they will do their best keeping on the positive spirit. It's different kind of track, even though there were some similarities to slow corners here in Monaco, but hopefully we can move forward and show a better level of performance like we saw in Barcelona. Hamilton's fans were so excited waiting for a great result in Monaco after reducing the porpoising issue the W13 struggled off since the start of the season. The Spanish Grand Prix was so encouraging, but unfortunately the race at Monte Carlo wasn't the way they have been waiting for. Late on Sunday night, Hamilton posted on his Instagram stories a kind of apology for his fans. "I'm sorry, I haven't given you any great result this year, but I won't give up. We win and lose together." After another difficult race in 2022, Wolff defended his driver Hamilton against Esteban Ocon and what he called Fernando Alonso Formula 2 driving and kept insisting that he and George Russell are very much on the same pace. Wolff defended Hamilton. When you look at the bad spells Lewis had, stuck behind Fernando today, the contact with Esteban, the red flag in qualifying yesterday. He could have been right there and could have closed Lando Norris 6th or even fight with George 5th and Lando at the front because that was his pace. I think the pendulum will swing and this unlucky situation will stop with Lewis as they are very much on the same pace. Wolff, who has accused Alonso of Formula 2 driving, said Monaco may have to change. "I think what we need to look at is Monaco. If a car can slow down by almost 5 seconds and hold everybody up, it is just a shame for the racing here. So maybe we can look at the track layout and the things we can do so we're not having precision or having strategy game or qualifying race." You can see there is another lesson that a track position is everything in Monaco. I mean, 5 seconds is like a Formula 2 car. Wolff added, "It is such a spectacle here. It is such a fantastic venue. And it is always amazing to be here. But I think we need to look in a way at the layout where we can basically close the loop for 5 seconds slower and you still can't do it." That was all for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please consider liking it, subscribe to our channel, and activate the bell to receive all our new videos. Invite your friends to participate in our channel giveaway. Thanks for watching. See you soon.